that's good enough. One of the things that I don't like about funerals is that everyone gets together, you know? Everyone gets together to say goodbye, to mourn, to grieve, to celebrate someone's life. And the reason that I don't like it is because we shouldn't have waited for someone to pass away to then go and celebrate their life and come together. If, you know, and not just family, because, you know, for the most part, like, if you have a close family is always together, but just friends, you know, people that you have in your life. And I don't say that with any anger towards anyone, because these things happen to everyone. It's not just, oh, I'm the first person going through this, or we're the first people going through this. This happens all the time, and it's part of life. But it's just a reminder to prioritize life when you have it. For the fourth time. It is 9:43, December 14th. Our flight leaves at 10:48. We are going to go to Puerto Rico. My brother is flying out on Monday. He's gonna get there on Monday. My parents are gonna get there on Friday, the 20th. And then my oldest brother is gonna get there the 23rd. So we're gonna spend Christmas and New Year's. Me and my parents are gonna spend Christmas and New Year's in Puerto Rico, and then my entire family is gonna spend Christmas in Puerto Rico. And yeah, that's the plan as of now. And yeah, okay. God teaches us to not. The only thing, how do I say this? The only thing that we could take up to heaven is each other. Everything else doesn't matter. And I think that's really important, because I think a big part of living life is experiencing life with people, of course, and then making those experiences matter, not because of the experience, but because of the person that was with you, because of the people that was with you. That's why family is so important. And I think God obviously knows what he's doing, and I think we kind of neglect the importance of God's words when it comes to the way that we live life and view life. These are the things that are important, you know? Because I know that my grandma's in heaven, you know? I know that my grandma knew God and had complete faith in him. And my grandma loved. And to know God is to love. Because if you do not love, you do not know God. And I think it's really important, because I'm not going to see her again until I get up there. So for now, I have to kind of not settle, but face the reality that she's not here anymore. And those experiences that I had here aren't here anymore. And I think it's the same for my entire family. But with that comes she lives within us. And we can go into details about this biblically, you know, like how people stay within you, because, well, heaven is a part of each one of us. Heaven is not only a physical place with God, but heaven is a place of knowing God and being with God. And when you learn to not materialize things and just focus on the things that are important, that God actually teaches us to love one another, to not focus on materialistic things, right? To focus on each other. When we prioritize the things that God cares about, we are in a form of heaven, not the heaven that you know, we idolize, but the only form of heaven that we can have here. And you find that with people. You find that with the people that you want to take, and you find that with the people that you want to keep.
I was born December 16th in 1962 in San Diego, and my name is Marla Full, and today is December 16th, 2024. I'm spending my 62nd birthday in Puerto Rico. The eco-forward nature of community, that it is a community, a place that seems to understand the value of its land and the impact that human beings have on it. And that love of place seems clearly to translate to love of community.
Good morning. It is 6:33. Say?
Oh, no, I can't see that.
Say it.
This can't be uploaded.
Say it.
What? Huh? Looks like I can't see it. Okay.
I love my grandma. I get frustrated because I feel like I didn't get enough time with her. And I was too young to appreciate the time that I did have with her. And that's not really my fault. But even in her passing, she teaches me things. And in her passing, she has taught me that you have to be present. You know, when you're younger, it's a different conversation. Your consciousness is not even, it hasn't evolved. You know, like at that point, you're a rock. But when your consciousness does evolve and you're able to understand the things that are going on at a higher capacity, it's important to have that time and appreciate that time and prioritize that time. I will always be able to look back and remember that I had the best memories with my grandma, and I love her so much. And I know that when I go to heaven, when I go with God, it's a good peace knowing that she knew God and that I will just be going home. And that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
before we were gonna leave on this trip and planning this trip, obviously we never thought, and it was never in our minds, that we weren't only just gonna come here for the trip, but we were also gonna celebrate and grieve the passing of my grandma. And that was really difficult because it became from one thing to another, you know, and it's super expected, you know. You think you're gonna come here, you're gonna have a great time, you know, you're gonna see her, you're gonna visit her, and then you don't. And then it becomes having a mass for her and being around your family and knowing that she's not there anymore. And that's a bittersweet feeling. And that's been difficult. That's been really difficult. But to love someone is to grieve them. And when you spend so much time with your family and such beautiful times, you know, during the holidays, during Christmas, during New Year's, you know, especially here in Puerto Rico and in our culture, it's a big party and it's a celebration. It's hard to do that in the back of your mind, thinking that she's not here anymore, because she was part of that celebration and she's always been part of that celebration. And now she's not here, but you continue to do the same thing. You continue to celebrate Christmas, and you continue to celebrate the New Year, and you are going to celebrate Three Kings, and you know, it's it keeps going, and you keep celebrating life. You know, are you ready? What is one of the things, or a couple of the things, however many you want to answer, of the things that you're going to take with you about Abuela forever?
Everything. Everything, because every day is different, and every day I do different things, I experience different things, and I have memories of her of my entire life. So I bring her with me to all. So like today, we're in the museum, and it was not one of her favorite places, but she will go to a museum and she will find this piece, and she will just sit and observe and uh, and enjoy and talk about it, and be passionate about that. Same thing with everything she did, whether I wake up, whether I'm at the house, whether I'm drinking coffee. So I think everything, nothing in particular, but everything.
1 John 4, 8, verses 8 through 9. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. This is how God showed his love among us. He sent his one and only Son into the world that we might live through him. To love someone is to grieve someone. And in order to know God, you have to love, because if you do not love, you do not know God. And it's so beautiful how that reflects in our relationships, even when someone is not there anymore. And it's such a bittersweet feeling, because I know from the bottom of my heart that a part of me knows God because I loved her, and I love her, and I always will. But it doesn't make it easy. It doesn't make it easy.
The setup that I got right now with this camera is crazy. It's crazy, bruh. You do what you gotta do. Good morning. It is 9:34 a.m. My second take doing this. And it is the official funeral of my grandma. The plan is to have the mass now and then bury her with my grandfather at the cemetery after. It's been a month, over a month, and it still hasn't really hit yet.
Los que confiaron en el Señor duermen ahora en Él. Dales alivio, descanso y paz a todos aquellos cuya fe solo tú conociste. Oremos al Señor. La familia y los amigos de Eva buscan paz y consuelo. Alivia su pena y disipa la oscuridad y la duda que nacen de la aflicción. Oremos al Señor.
¿Puedo hablar español?
Ya.
Ok, hay varias, pero lo más que yo me llevo de abuela es su liderazgo como mujer, como persona, y era parte del tronco de nuestra familia como tal. Obviamente abuelo se fue y ella era la segunda mitad, y ella siempre quiso que nuestra familia siempre estuviese unida. Y como que a pesar de todo lo que haya pasado, entre muchas discusiones, muchas diferencias entre nosotros, como que ella nunca quiso que nosotros nos rompiéramos, y eso era Eso lo puedo decir lo más bonito que ella tiene y que me voy a llevar el recuerdo de ella. Aparte de mi niñez, cada verano que yo bajaba por Orlando, o sea, los tiempos de la cocina, o sea, los caminatas en el parque con abuelo y abuela también, en la BBL. O sea, los veranos íbamos así ver mucho. Son muchas cosas, muchos recuerdos, pero lo más que me llevo es eso, su liderazgo. ¿Sí? Ah,
If Abuela was sitting next to you right now, what would you tell her?
If I if I'm being honest with you, I would love to play another game of dominoes, connect four or cards. Um, but if I had to tell her something, and it would just be that, it would just be, I love you. Um, I think those words we take it for granted because we say it a lot, but uh, me now, with distance, I know love grows, and this kind of distance does hurt a lot. But I would just say I love you.
It is Thursday, January 16th. It has been almost a week since the funeral and the burial. And I think this is kind of the hardest part when you continue to just live, you know? You continue to move on and live life, you know, as if nothing happened, and that's not the case, but you kind of have no choice, you know? I think one of the most beautiful things throughout this process and throughout documenting everything has been seeing my family and the way they have reacted to it. What my brothers have to say, what my mom had to say, how my dad has just been there for my mom, the way that she is needed. And I think again, it just shows how much love there needs to be in these moments and how much love there is. I don't really know what to say. You know, you think that you're gonna have like a closing message and it's gonna be this grand thing, and it's really not. It's pretty simple. You just keep living life. Some days are harder than others. Some days you know you're gonna be okay. Some days it hurts a little more. Some days you don't even think about it. Some days it's all you think about. John 5, verse 24 is Jesus speaking to us. And he is saying that if we hear him and what he says and believe that God brought him down to this earth, we will transition from having death to life, and our lives will be eternal. Which is interesting because he's basically telling people that you're not alive, you're dead, and you will have life when you believe what I say and you have faith. And faith is very important. Faith is very important, especially in these moments, you know, when you're like, when you just have to keep going, when you can't sit down and really think too much about it. You just simply need to have faith. Putting that in the context of my grandma, she only died in a physical form, not in a spiritual form, because she had faith and she believed more than anything what God was doing and what Jesus had to say. And I think that's why when someone's very spiritual and someone believes, you can feel the life that they have. You feel the life that they have even when they're not here. And it's good. it's good to know about these things, and it's good to see things this way, because she lives in us. She lives in us, and her life lives in us, and her faith lives in us. You can see it in all of us. You can see it in my mom. You can see it in my brothers. And you can see it in me. Her faith will continue to live in all of us.